Okay, so first things first here. You're gonna go ahead and make sure that your air supply is connected, like this here. No, you're good. Just filming the shit. Once your air supply is connected, you can go ahead and hear it coming out of your spindle over here. You want to hear it coming from this area, because if you hear it from up here, something's fucked up. So after that, we're good to go ahead and just go ahead and press the on button here. Make sure that this switch here is flipped to on as well. On. Alright, and then you're going to have to wait for the pad to boot up. So I'll see you in about 2 minutes. Alright, so upon booting here, it's going to ask if we want to seek the G54 origin. That's just going to be over here toward the end of the table, this corner. You hit OK on that. And it'll go through the cycle of seeking out the X, Y, and Z one by one. Alright, and then after it seeks it out, you'll see here that we haven't hit either of these sensors down here with this sensor. So should be good to go. It's not locked up. So once you hit warm up devices, you're just going to wait a little bit more as the spindle will warm up. So see you again in about 3 minutes or 5 minutes. All right, so just for demonstration purposes, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and load up a new tool. So first we need to take the one that's in there out of this machine. So we're going to go with 32.7, which should be our big bit that we've got. That's going to go ahead and trigger the loading process. So our tool will pop up here and take our guy, nice big dude. And we're going to go over here to our collar. We're going to go ahead and insert it into the collar with this piece facing upward. We're going to press down on that, let go. We should be locked in. All good, nice and tight. You want to take over on here while I film you? So this wrench here, you're basically just going to want to slot it over these teeth before you pull down. And when you loosen, it should just be one good push to get it out. Or no, it'll lock up one more time. So from here, you can deconstruct your bit, put in, take out whatever you want to. But since we're going to be using the same bit, we'll just keep it as is. So just like the same thing, once you get it back into your tooth here, back into the collar, go ahead and tighten it up. Yes, sir, you love to see it. And so over here on the controller earlier, when we did that command, 32.7, that was to load the tool into the 0.7 slot. So since we're already here, we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and just put it back in. And go ahead and make sure this collar is nice and loose. And then you just go ahead and tell the machine to go grab its bit, or to load this bit in. Yes, sir. And then so now that we've loaded in a new bit and slightly changed the variable of the sizing and height here, we're going to go ahead and use function 25.7 to dial in the height of this new bit. So 0.7, and this should send the machine over to grab the tool. Here it'll go. Pull up. There's the guy we just put in there. And now it's going to go over here to this grounding plate. And it's going to slowly lower down. And it's going to make connection with that grounding plate. Or, well, first you need to confirm it. Yes. Oh, it's got it. It's going to touch that grounding plate. And you know that it's successful once it touches down once and then comes right back up like this. And it's going to slide back over to where it was on the table before. So now the machine has the bit loaded and knows the height of the bit based off of that sensor. So now we're going to go ahead and do the auto zones to make sure that the material here on the table is flat or held down. So we're going to go over here to our suction. We're going to turn this guy on. He's going to get nice and loud for us. And then we're going to get even louder when we go ahead and turn on the vacuum. Yes, sir. All right. So now that you can't hear shit, we're gonna go over here to auto, zones, and then wait. And then here are the zones on your table. So from here, obviously, you can turn them on, off, auto off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and for the demonstration, just go ahead and just turn all these puppies on. Oop, my bad. And so, once we hit done here, now that we have all this on, this puppy ain't going nowhere, will not move. So now you are good to cut. So, obviously, we can't really run anything as we have it for right now. But when you go to run a file, you're gonna make sure that you're in job mode here. And you can cycle between the different modes here by going through this tab button. This will bring you from anywhere between the selected origin to where you are on the table to what tools you have loaded or unloaded. But right now, we're just gonna go ahead and go back to job mode. And as you can see here, we already have the correct file loaded, but we're just gonna go ahead and make sure. Now we go here, and you can see right there is the job we want. So we just hit OK. And now, we could run the job from start to finish. It will automatically grab the bit that it needs to when the job starts, and since we did not adjust 0.8, we will not need to readjust the height for this demonstration. So go ahead and hit OK, and that will first verify the file. Alright, and now that we know for sure and the machine has run the verification process, there were no errors in the code. So we would be all good to go ahead and press start and let this thing go. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not going to run it just because it would take way too long and I don't really have the time for it, but you are all good to go. That was start to finish, and so now we're going to go ahead and just shut down. So let's cancel this job because we're not going to run it. Let's go ahead and return this. Focus. Return this bit back. You want to make sure that you return your spindle bit and this knife bit. The oscillating knife can stay in, but these two got to go back before you turn the machine off for the day. So we're going to go ahead and over here and 34. We're going to go ahead and do function 34, and we don't need to specify because it already knows we took out 0.7 and it already knows that it has a bit loaded. So we're going to do function 34 here. It's going to turn everything off. It's going to go ahead and run over here. Grab our guy, pull him out, and then run back to where it was. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead and go back here to our auto zones and just turn these off for the day once we're finished with them. So config off, zone 2, config off. You get the deal. We're just going to go ahead and cycle through here. And we're done there. So now that we're not going to cut anything, go ahead and turn the motor off for the vacuum, and then turn our vacuum off for this. And then so since we got this bit out and we took, well, we never put one in, but since we theoretically would have taken it out, we're all good to go ahead and shut down. So literally come on over here, off, and then either turn your compressor off or disconnect the main air supply to the machine, but you got to do one or the other. And we are good. That is start to finish, from starting up the machine, loading a tool, measuring the height of the tool, theoretically cutting a job, and that should be everything we need. And now you can tell because the screen is off.